Welcome everyone, Cliff from Advanced Diagnostics. Some security professionals prepare before they attempt to do any programming. They do this by using the MyKeys Pro app or the main body of the screen. But one thing that is highly overlooked a lot of the time is the tips and hints option on the Smart Pro itself. So let's use 21 to 23 Nissan Rogue, because this was a recent call that we received. And the gentleman that called said on the phone, well, I've got a 21, 22 Nissan Rogue. Well, there is no such thing. So this told us that he was a bit too casual about the accuracy of his information, and that will get you in trouble. That's why preparation is so important, and you do need to validate information that you gather from a potential customer, for example. A lot of times they may be wrong about the year, the model, even the make. Usually not the make, but it can happen. Trust me, I've seen it all over the years. So make sure if they give you any information that you validate it yourself. In other words, look at the 10th placement of the VIN. Had this vehicle been a 21, there would be an M as in Mary in the 10th spot. Had it been a 22 model year, there would be an N as in Nancy. Now, it's really imperative on these Rogue systems, the late model ones that we're looking at right now on the screen, that you get the right part. And that's where tips and hints can help you a lot. So it's great to look at the body of information right here, but don't stop there. Look at tips and hints and see if there's anything available. Not all vehicles have tips and hints in it, but this has a lot, because this particular vehicle, through extensive testing, we have quite a bit of information right up here at top that tells you purchase new OEM keys only, ordered specifically by VIN from an authorized Nissan dealer. They may appear new if they're ordered by a key supplier and not the Nissan dealer. However, if the remote functions do not operate and the vehicle will only start by pressing the key close against the push button, that implies the key is not new or the part number is not correct for that vehicle. And this behavior is not due to your key programmer. The Smart Pro just puts the system into an open learning mode. After that, it's between the key and the car. So the gentleman that called, he was in a little bit of disbelief after being told this factual information. He had tried 3 or 4 keys and they all behaved the same. So what we told him to do is open the learn mode and try putting your spare key in. And if the buttons don't operate, you have to hold that key up to the push start button, that's a key issue. But if you really want to convince yourself, and this is not necessary in my mind, however, some people need to see this as factual information, put the vehicle back into learning mode and use the original key and close out just on the one key. So in other words, don't try to do both keys, just do the one. And if the key behaves as it should, there's your information beyond the shadow of a doubt that you have an issue with your key. Now, we put this information here based on extensive testing through the development and beta team. So this is not speculative information when we tell you that it's more than likely your key that's the problem based on factual history. Then that's something that you should really respect. But you're not going to know this if you never look at this information. And there are some people that don't even look at the general body of information. They just show up and they'll call and say, well, I've never done one of these vehicles. What do I do now? That kind of casual attitude, you will lose money and you will lose customers doing that if you keep pursuing that same course of action. Because look at it this way. Let's look at the service industry. I'll give you a couple of examples I've used in the past. If you were a house painter and you skip some of the preparation on the walls, but the color went up and it's the color the customer wanted, they're usually satisfied. You're going to get paid more than likely. If you're a landscaper and maybe there's a lot of rain and your large mower digs into the terrain of the grass, damages some of it, most people are fairly accepting of that, and you will be fine, you'll get paid. But in our industry, accuracy, extreme accuracy is needed, because if, let's say you have it, you have the programmer is correct, it does everything it's supposed to do, you've added voltage, like in other words, you put everything in your favor that you can, but you do not have a valid key. It's not going to matter all those other steps being perfect. So one small thing can stop you from being successful. That's how extremely accurate you need to be. So please don't take a casual approach. Use all the information that's on the tool that you're using. Be informed on what's needed. That's my message today. I hope you found this helpful. I look forward to seeing you again. Thanks for watching.